singular, present, theological perspective. Exvangelicals can be atheists, agnostics, or Christians in more progressive denominations. They can be mystics or Episcopalians, anything in between, or nothing at all. In that sense, the word makes space for people to explore their own convictions and acknowledges that beliefs change over time. It doesn't try to dictate what people who leave evangelicalism should believe. Third, the term exvangelical does not require you to commit to it. You can use it as you see fit or not. If you fully transition to another belief system that you affirm, then by all means, you can discard the term once it no longer suits you. Some people find value in delineating the various terms they use to understand and express themselves, while others find the use of labels pedantic and exhausting. I embrace the reality that people will use the subtleties of language, including exvangelical, to express themselves as they desire. Finally, and above all else, the very existence of a term with a self-evident meaning helps exvangelicals know they aren't alone. Some people will personally identify with it, while others won't, but anyone deconstructing their faith who hears exvangelical will at the very least know that there are enough other people like them out there that someone had to invent a word for it. I hope this book will continue that project. But before I explain further what this book is, I want to explain what it isn't. Though it contains some details from my life, it is not a memoir or an exploration of my personal spiritual beliefs. Given the nature of the term exvangelical, people are often curious to know if I still identify as Christian. But as I've written elsewhere, I consider, are you still a Christian? To be the least interesting of all the questions people ask those who leave a high-demand religion like white evangelicalism. If you'll be distracted by speculating, I can tell you that, at the time of this writing, I have no particular compulsion to declare Jesus Christ or anyone as Lord. I also do not have a particular desire to declare God dead or non-existent. To me, a statement of non-belief feels as binding as a statement of belief. If you must put me in a theological box, I find resonance with Paul Tillich's vision of God as the ground of being, but have very little faith and even less evidence that God can or does work through miraculous means. If this admission makes you sad, it has at times made me sad too, but I would rather be honest with you and with myself. That being said, my Christian past will always play a role in shaping my view and experience of the world, and I consider my present agnosticism to be an open invitation to potential future phase. As Wendell Berry once wrote, there are an enormous number of people, and I am one of them, whose native religion, for better or worse, is Christianity. We were born to it. We began to learn about it before we became conscious. It is, whatever we think of it, an intimate belonging of our being. It informs our consciousness, our language, and our dreams. And like Barry, for better or worse, I can never deny that. However, while I remain open to broader questions of philosophy, theology, and divinity, I am not bothered if you don't. This book is not meant to advocate for any particular belief system, and I have no agenda to convert you to my view of the world. Over the course of my life, I've had many faith and identity shifts, and while leaving evangelicalism was the largest, it was not the last. I'll keep changing throughout my life, for better or worse, and I imagine you will too. Your spirituality is your own to do with and cultivate with whatever tools edify you and do not harm others, with or without God. The only spiritual advice I'd give is to try to understand the past even as you do not let it dictate your present or future, and live your life in widening circles that liberate you and others. Whether this advice has resonance with your understanding of Christianity or any other form of belief, that's up to you to affirm or deny. Additionally, this book does not seek to reform the white evangelical church or convince evangelicals to listen to reason. As I'll show, many people have tried to achieve these goals for many decades, including, in the past, me. And none have succeeded, for reasons that I'll explore in depth. If some open-minded evangelical is inspired to read or listen to these words, I welcome them to do so, but that's not who I'm writing for. My primary audience is the people who have been brave enough to leave the church, no matter where they are on their journey, as well as anyone else who wants to understand evangelicalism's outsized role.